Hello, everyone. It's Rosetta here, your certified health coach at Simply Health, coming to you today with another one of my conversations with Rosetta. And before I get going, I'd like to remind you all, if you could like my video, subscribe to my channel, and if you don't want to miss any of my videos, hit that bell notification. Let's get going. And who do I have today? Today I have Amy Lee, and she's going to be talking about, she's a massage therapist and also she specializes in pelvic health. So welcome, Amy. Thank you for joining my Conversations with Rosetta. And I'm just going to get going and ask you real quick, can you talk a little bit about what you do? And I know you are a massage therapist, but how does that pelvic health play into it?
Sure. So, just super quick, I am a licensed massage therapist. I'm a Reiki master. I'm an access bars facilitator, and I specialize in women's pelvic health. And through visceral manipulation, as well as the energy healing techniques, the importance of the physical work on the body is that we need to, well, can I swear? A little bit.
Well, a little bit,
No,
depending.
I always say we have to shake shit up in our bodies.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Everything just it's so stagnant, especially in our pelvic area, right? So when I'm working very deep in the pelvic area, I'm first and foremost, I'm flushing the area with fresh new blood, and no tissue in the body can heal without adequate blood flow. So we can break up adhesions, we can realign scar tissue, making it more malleable and movable, and as well as getting the lymph fluid moving. So physically, really working deeply in that area is incredibly important just to get out all of the stagnation and bring in fresh new fluid and lymph and blood and everything else.
yeah,
Yeah, as far as the physical part, that's what I do.
okay, that's great. And I know that, can you talk about what, because some people may not know, what is visceral manipulation?
Sure. So visceral manipulation is actually it's very deep work into the pelvic or abdominal area. So it's not a massage. We're actually trying to feel the organs, feel the structures. Are they in proper alignment? Is there some type of scar tissue or adhesion that's moving things out of alignment? So we need to feel the structures and feel what's actually happening in there.
Oh, okay, sure. And I also know that you do something with the holistic fertility program, helping people with fertility. What is that about? Can you explain that, please?
Sure, absolutely. So aside from the physical aspect of it, again, really important that fresh new blood. If somebody is having an issue with fertility, it's always, what a laundry basket list full of things, right? It could be something simple, it could be something difficult, and more often than not, it's a combination of things. So one of the things that the area can do is we can really prep that area physically for an IUI or an IVF situation. If somebody has to, kind of go that alternative help route. But if you want to work, holistically, because, maybe there are other things that are going on within your body that don't necessarily need that intense medical intervention, the physical visceral manipulation can actually reawaken the ovaries because I'm literally pushing on the ovaries. They're getting physical
Wow.
stimulation. And so, as a great example of that is a friend came to me because she's a massage client, and her daughter was struggling with infertility. So I said, would you like me to give you just like a little 5-minute, I guess, taste of how it feels so you can let her know? Now, this woman, she's in perimenopause. She had not at that point had a period for 8 months, which she was super jazzed about because she's ready to be done with it. And 3 days later, she got her period. Just from
Wow.
me working in that area for literally 5 minutes. So it reawakens things. It's going to shift your cycle. It's going to shift your ovulation, stimulate your ovulation if that's, you know, one of your problems. The other aspect that I really want to incorporate and educate, because people can understand that physical piece, but it's the emotional and energetic piece that makes me unique when I bring those pieces into it, because we could have childhood trauma that is preventing us from getting pregnant. Well, how could that be? Especially if it's not a sexual trauma. And you know, obviously a sexual trauma can cause that too. But our lower chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus, that is where we hold our trauma. So if you're someone who's never had energy healing because you didn't know that, you know, it was a thing and that it's real and that that's something that can be helped, there's going to be a lot of stagnation there, a lot of density, and that's right where our emotional, that's right where our trauma goes, that's right where our emotions go. So as I'm physically working in that area, I'm actually disrupting your emotions in your body and your energy flow. So that's why when I do visceral manipulation, I always support with Holy Fire Reiki as a way to help them balance their energy body after I've completely disrupted it with that really deep work.
Wow, that's great work you're doing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really good. So before I want to move any further, I would just want to ask you, so what state are you in?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay. So that's the reason why I wanted to ask for anyone in Wisconsin, right? That is interested, they can contact. Now, what is the name of your business? Tell everyone the name of your business.
Sure. The name of my business is Soul Healing Bodywork and Wellness Center.
Okay. And you don't have to memorize that because I'm going to put all her information in the description below, how you can contact her website, social media, and all that. So if you feel that this is something that you might want to connect with her on, then you'll have the information below. So you don't have to memorize all that. So another thing that I was reading on your website is you do something called access bar therapy.
Yeah.
And you put in quotations, running the bars. What is that? That sounds interesting.
It's a kind of a really funny story. When I kept getting invited to these access bars events, and I had no idea what it was. And they said access bars. I literally thought it was a bar that you ate.
Oh.
And I thought it was like another health kick. Try our
Chocolate bar.
You know, it's like whatever, gonna be the world's savior or something. And I thought it was lame. I'm like, whatever. And I just totally didn't even listen. And then the woman who kept inviting me called me because I had actually done my master level Reiki with her. So she called me and she was like, are you interested in this? And I'm like, I don't even know what it is. So when she shared it with me, so the access consciousness bars, they deal with 32 energy points on your head. So we're only touching your head, very specific points, and very, very lightly. What that allows us to do is access your consciousness and allows you to release all judgment, worry, cares, concern around all emotional attachment to life. What does that mean? It does not mean that we're going to detach you from your life. What that means is that the emotions, when you can release judgment around your emotions, then they no longer can control you because it's not good or bad or right or wrong. It just is. We are all allowed our emotions, no matter, you know, how anybody categorizes certain emotions as good or bad or better or best or right or wrong. They just are.
Yep.
So that's a really beautiful thing because, again, once you've released that attachment to the judgment, then it doesn't control you anymore.
Wow, I love that because you know why? Because so many people get so into their head with their emotions and it overruns their whole life, their whole day, and it's just something. This is amazing. So like if someone came to you, like what, so you do kind of like I'm assuming that's part of your Reiki, right? The access bars. So that's how you do that? Or
Nope, the access consciousness bars, the creators of it request that it only be done, that it's a standalone therapy. So when I'm doing
okay.
access bars, I'm only doing that. When I'm doing visceral manipulation or massage, I can combine Reiki with that. And then I bring in my intuitive guidance piece also
Okay, so
for
the
any
access
therapy.
bars, yeah. So I understand the access bars has to be separately done. It's not
Yeah,
combined with anything else.
right.
So what do you do? Like I'm just trying to like
Yeah.
imagine what you actually do when someone comes to you.
Yeah. So you actually lie on the treatment table, just like you're getting a Reiki session. I mean, everybody lies on the same table. It's my massage table. Obviously, if you're getting energy healing, you just don't undress, you know. So you lie down on the table, I cover you up, and there's soft music, and it's all the ambiance of energy healing, and so you can relax. And then I'm literally only just touching with my tips of my fingers very lightly these very specific points on your head.
Oh wow. Yeah, you're right. You're saying head. That would be right because that's where all the emotions are coming from, right?
And the reason why they call it running the bars is because when you line up all these points, it looks like bars on your head,
Wow.
the way that they're lined up. And we call it running the bars because that's literally what we're doing. The energy just starts flowing.
Wow. Wow. So like after someone has come for a session, like how many sessions does it take? Is it one session or is it a few sessions? How does that work?
I always tell people it's really going to depend on the work you're doing outside of my office. Because if you come to me at 40 or 50, I'm not going to fix you in one session. There's a lot of our own self internal work that has to be done. I always tell people if you are working on a very specific issue that needs to be fixed, then, once a week, once every other week. If it's specifically for maintenance, every 4 to 6 weeks. It really depends on your body, and that's so individual.
Okay. All right. So now we know that it's all depending on the person. So you can't really, there's no like average number of sessions. You go case by case basis.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
time. Everything's personalized because that's one of the things, that's one of the problems that I have with like just the general American medical system or any system, because, and it's not anybody's fault that's, living now. It's just that everything in our medical system is run by insurance and everything is set on protocols.
Yes.
And this is the standard protocol. But who are those protocols based on? They're not based on me. They're not based on you. They're not based on any of my 3 children. They're based on, a collective, like maybe a really general kind of a good guess of the population, but we're all so varied that, we really need to do, that kind of care. And, I mean, not a lot of practitioners have the time to do that.
No, they don't. Practitioners don't have the resources or the
Yeah.
time, and
Mhm.
they're too busy. So day in, day out, that's what we need. We need people to help you day in, day out to
Absolutely.
incorporate those habits, right, into your lifestyle.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so someone like you would be amazing. That would be really good. Like, do you have any kinds of stories or any, without saying names or anything, that you may
Sure.
want to share with people so people have an understanding? Because I know I like it when people say, okay, well, I had this particular,
Yeah.
case come up and this is what I did so that people can understand exactly, the things that you go through and the things you do.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, one of my favorites is I worked on an elderly lady. She was 85 and she was very proud to be 85 and she cussed like a sailor and she said it like it was. And she came to me, she saw my commercial on TV, and she actually had really severe incontinence. She was going to the bathroom every 90 minutes. And of course, she had mobility issues and she couldn't always make it. So she hated wearing Depends. She hated everything about them. And she was convinced that nobody had incontinence as bad as her. And it was to the point where she was so embarrassed she wouldn't even tell her doctor, and she kind of became a shut-in, a self-imposed shut-in, because she was too embarrassed to go out to lunch or a movie or anything with her friends. So she came to me, and now normally at that time I was doing a very specific protocol, which was 6 1-hour sessions for 6 consecutive weeks. I no longer do that protocol, but she came in and she was so painful that I could not do an hour at all, ever. I never could do an hour on her. But I did the visceral manipulation for half hour. And when she came back the next week, she told me that she had slept for 4 hours in a row. And she had not slept for 4 hours in 40 years.
Wow.
Because this problem started when she had back surgery in the mid-thoracic area of her spine 40 years ago. And it just has progressively gotten worse. So anyways, she ended up coming to me for a total of 5 half-hour sessions. And at the end of that, she had a lot more energy. She only had to get up 1 time a night to go to the bathroom. She was able to sit through a movie and lunch with friends and not have to go to the bathroom. So, I mean, literally that it gave her life back. You know, I mean, when you think of, I mean, yes, you know, like helping a family create a child is massively impactful, you know, but this was massively impactful for her. So, I mean, she's doing great. She hasn't had any relapse. I call her about twice a year just to check in to see if she needs like a tune-up, so to speak. And she's doing great.
Wow, I love that story.
Yeah.
No, it really, really means a lot. When you're going through it, it can be devastating. Sometimes you don't even want to go out with friends. Like if
Right.
you're out for longer than 1 or 2 hours, because you feel so embarrassed, right? Having to go to the bathroom all the
Absolutely.
time. Yeah, I totally understand. That must have been like really, she must have felt amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, like, oh my God, this is God sent. She must have thought, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Because I can understand, like, if people have that, that can ruin just everything about them,
Absolutely.
their whole life, their whole
Yeah.
environment, everything they do. They can't go out. They're just, because it eats at them, right? And then they start to get stressed. And we all know stress is a very bad thing for our bodies, right?
I
To
mean, it
be
causes
putting,
depression,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, I mean,
depression is
it
another
does.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I've got another couple that came to work with me. They came to work with me. They did 3 failed IUIs, which is intrauterine insemination. So they literally inject the semen into the, not inject, they it's like a massive turkey baster. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes,
Not
yes,
that, but that's the
yeah,
effect. They don't use
yeah,
the turkey baster, but that's the effect.
yeah.
Um, anyway, so they actually put the sperm right next to the opening of the fallopian tube, whichever side they're ovulating from. So they did that 3 times and that failed. They did 2 IVFs, and both of those they got positive pregnancy tests, but no baby ever developed. So they were
Wow.
both failed also. And they had never been pregnant on their own. They came to work with me, and 4 months later, they were pregnant on their own.
Wow,
Yeah,
amazing, amazing.
yeah,
No, I'm excited because I know you're in Wisconsin, but is there anything you can do virtually?
yeah. I
What
can
can
do
you do,
everything
please?
virtually except for the physical visceral manipulation part, of course. So, energy healing does not have the confines of our human brain. So energy is energy, it flows wherever. So I can do
Right.
energy healing via Zoom like you and I are on a phone call. I don't need we don't have to be actually attached at all. We energy goes wherever. And then the intuitive guidance piece, of course, that, you know, same thing. And then I also use essential oil blends that I again make and tailor to each client for whatever their specific needs are. So those can easily be made and shipped anywhere.
Okay. And
And
then what about,
then, oh, I was just going to say for the visceral manipulation piece, I can research and help you find someone in that area, or you can travel to me.
oh, yeah, take a trip to Wisconsin after the
Right.
pandemic, or if you're open to traveling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in regards to like helping the couple with fertility, so you can do, you're saying that you can do this virtually?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice to hear. Yeah, so there you have it, everyone. She doesn't just do in person. If you're not from Wisconsin, you can do virtual. So I highly, highly recommend that you look her up, or if you know of anyone that might need her guidance, her support, her help, then this is really a great way to go. She does therapy, she does visceral. Well, she says she doesn't do that over, the internet, but she'll find someone for you in your local area that you can go to. And she does the fertility program, she does Reiki, she does access bar therapy, and you learn all about that. That's very interesting because I'd never heard of that. And I believe that that's something that a lot of people need. And we don't know we need it until we hear about it, right?
Absolutely.
And that's really I think that's a really great coping mechanism, what you're doing. It's trying to get rid of all those thoughts and just the emotions that come up. That's really great. I love that. I love that.
Well, and the thing about energy healing that's so fabulous, especially, well, Reiki, but energy modalities in general, is that you can release the trauma without having to relive it. And in fact, you don't even have to be aware that there was any trauma for you to release it. Because sometimes, if things happen to us when we're small, like toddlers, our brain protects us and we don't remember those things. But the energy of that traumatic event is still there. So Reiki allows you to release it without ever having to
Yeah, I really believe that. I really believe that things that happen in our younger lives, even in past lives, we still hold on to it energy-wise, but we don't remember it until actually someone really pushes us to remember it, right? So that's really great. That's so great. Well, everyone, there you have it. I mean, what amazing work Amy does. This is great. We need someone like you. I don't know of anyone in California that does this, but we need someone like you. We need more people like you, because this is great. All the different modalities that you use and helping people. What a great cause, people. This is amazing. So if you need any of her services that she was explaining, or you know someone that might need her help, please consider connecting with her or check out her website. I'll have all the information again. Don't forget, all her information will be below in the description, so you can look her up, and I'm sure she'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But thank you so much again, Amy, for coming on to my Conversations with Rosetta. And hey, if you guys liked this and you want to hear more, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, because I'm having tons more conversations with Rosetta, and hit the bell notification if you don't want to miss any of my videos. But thank you again so much for tuning in today. Have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye-bye now. Bye from me and bye from Amy. Bye-bye. Thanks.